Fundy users, if you're creating albums and showing them to your clients, did you know that there's a super easy way for your clients to view their spreads and approve or make changes to their albums? Well, with the Fundy Designer, you can make both of those things happen so easily. I'm going to show you how. All right, so here we are in the Fundy Designer Suite, and what I'm going to do now is show you how I create a design proof for my clients and how they can actually go into this design proofer and look at their spreads, look at their album design, and either request changes, approve spreads, or basically do whatever they want to do that tells me how I can make the perfect album for them. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you look at my screen, as you can see, this is the album design that I have put together for my clients. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is once I have finished this, I'm gonna export this to the design proofer. So on the top right, I'm gonna click this arrow and I'm gonna go to Create Design Proof. Once I've done this, it'll ask me for a name. So I'm just gonna put in their name as an example. And then what's gonna happen is it's gonna give me the option to create their customized design proof. So what you want to do first is decide what elements that you want to send to them. So for example, you can have a spread of their album design that they can approve or make changes to. You can have their thank you cards. You can have their slideshow, whatever it is you want. Even wall art, for example, if you wanted to also create a wall art design for their bathroom or their living room or their office, you can do that here as well. But you're going to decide what you want to send to them. In this particular case, I am just designing an album for them. So I'm going to select album only. And then from here, to customize the experience even more, I can select which page that I want as well. So for example, let's just go ahead and use this page. This is just a little preview of what they're going to be looking at. And then I can add some custom text. So for example, we'll add their names. And then we could put their wedding date, for example. And then once I like this, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then from here, again, this is where we can decide if we want to include different wall art, if we want to include thank you cards, whatever options that you've created for them. In this particular situation, I'm just going to do one album. You can include different spreads as well if you have or if you've created multiple different album designs for them and you want to give them options. You'll hit next. And again, if you want to include a slideshow, this is where you can include a slideshow for them as well. And then from here, you'll go ahead and type in their name, type in their email. I'm going to use my email address as an example. And then from here, you can get even more crazy with your custom design options. So for example, if you wanted to say a custom message, hey guys, here is your album spread. Let me know what you think. Hit next. And then at this point, you'll go to export and upload. Hit next, hit next. And then this is going to take a second, but essentially what this is doing is creating your image file, and it's going to upload them to Fundy's server. Once those spreads have finished uploading to Fundy, it's going to generate a link for you to send to your clients. So once you send them that link, it's going to look just like this. Once your clients open that generated link, it's going to look like this. So from here, they can go ahead and click View the Album, and they can go through each spread of their wedding. Now, from your client's perspective, they can go ahead and make changes or make suggestions on the spreads. So for example, they could click on this image right here and they could say, hey, let's switch this image up with another. And they can go through their entire album and do this. Once they're done, they can go to send comments, which will actually send these comments to me. Or they can approve the album saying, yep, it's good to go. Let's print it as it is. But if they hit send comments, it'll go to this and they can send that directly to me. On my end as the photographer, what I will do is go to my email. I'll get a notification and here it is. It'll say, hey, Sammy and Brandon, for example, on their sample album, that's dope. There are a total of 8 comments that need to be reviewed. So what I'll do on my end is I'll go ahead and view the design, and I come back to a very similar view, and I can go through and see where they left comments. So for example, oh, I see that there's a comment here that this particular client left, and these are real comments, by the way. And she said, hey, can we crop this tighter? On this photo, she said, hey, let's switch this image up with another. Continue going through on this one. What did she say here? Hey, let's replace this photo with another. So this is how you can create such an amazing experience for your clients and really give them the impression that it is a custom, personalized feel. So once I've reviewed all of these, I can go back to the Fundy Designer and I can make the changes, send them another spread or another album design for them to approve. And once they've approved that, they can go here to approve for print. They can check an initial, and then it'll send it off to me, and I'll know, yep, it's time to print this. And that's it. So here I am back in the Fundy Designer Suite, and I've just sent my first draft to the clients, and I've gotten in return their comments. So what I do is pull up the individual spreads, and what I do here is go to show comments, and this will actually pull up the client's suggestions. So on this first spread, my client is saying that she doesn't like this image. Let's replace it with something else. Down here, she's saying, can we crop this tighter? So that tells me that I need to fix these images right here. And I can go ahead and make those adjustments based off of her comments. Scrolling through, this is the next spread where she's made some comments. She's asking to switch this photo out with another, and she's asking to switch this photo out with another. Continuing onward, she wants this photo cropped tighter. This is the next spread where she's requested a change. She's wanting to move this to a different page. And as you can see, she has comments throughout her album, and I can go through each of these spreads that she's made a comment on until I've created the perfect design for her. That's how easy Fundy has made it for me to share my album spreads with my clients. It really helps elevate and position myself as a luxury wedding photographer, and it makes the process of just showing them these albums so much easier, and it saves me a ton of time. Try it if you're not already using it, because you will not regret it, and it's going to make your life that much more elevated when it comes to presenting your work to clients.